but thank you for having me. I am honored, I am privileged, and I am extremely excited to be with you.
You definitely gave affirmation just in the first, let me look at the timer, it may have been 90 seconds of you speaking. Because just as you mentioned, we are on this journey of liberation, and liberation comes with education. Education in action comes with trusting the person that you're receiving it from. And so we all know that you are a trustworthy source. And so we're incredibly grateful to be able to have you join us. Shout out to the Civil Rights Institute to being able to further the experience. I tell folks, you don't come to Birmingham and don't go to the Institute, then you ain't come to Birmingham, right?
Yep.
And so thank you for those remarks. And now we are up for the first question. So this is what we got, Lisa. Let's say you had an unlimited amount of money in an unlimited amount of time. What problem would you solve?
That's a really good question. As you can probably tell, I'm also wearing my sweatshirt that showcases Brown versus Board of Education, which was when schools in the United States were desegregated, and were integrated. So as you can imagine, education is extremely important to me. And honestly, Isaac, I think that when I reflect on why I'm in the world of Web3, this third iteration of the internet, one of the appeals to me was the democratization of access to wealth and wealth building. And one of the most effective means of leveraging your education and the idea of, when I say democratize, let me be clear. What I'm saying is that, this transcends race, color, creed, gender, disabilities, etc. Right? Education is something that everyone can benefit from if they know how to apply what they learn. Right? The reason I preface my answer to your question with that is because if I had unlimited money and I had unlimited time, I would actually be doing more of what I'm doing in terms of providing trustworthy, reliable education to empower people to empower themselves, right? I'm a big believer in excellence being undeniable, right? You can try to disenfranchise based on race and gender and sexual orientation and things of that nature. But excellence is one of those characteristics that can truly transcend oppression and disenfranchisement, etc. Because education enables you to think outside of the box as to how you solve real world problems. So when I look at the illiteracy rates in the world, in the United States, although we are considered a developed market, you still have the national average reading as a 6th grade level, believe it or not. And also with the advent of AI, these technological innovations can also create less critical thinking. You see what I'm saying? People are not people because they will just use the tool to get an answer without questioning whether or not that answer is correct. And so what we're also seeing is like the degradation of critical thinking. I'm mentioning these things because, again, if I had all the resources and all the time, I would continue to build institutions that not just enable technological understanding and build technological aptitude, but also I would emphasize skills like critical thinking, skills like how do you communicate effectively? How do you function from a collaborative standpoint? These are also skill sets that are often overlooked as a result of the emphasis being placed on technology. But another thing that we're seeing is that communication skills have deteriorated. When you work, I used to work for a Fortune 100. I worked for LinkedIn. I sold enterprise software. I spent the lion's share of my corporate career there. When you're working for organizations, for example, that have tens of thousands of employees, you have to be able to cross-department collaboration, cross-functional collaboration. You have to be able to enroll stakeholders at different seniority levels, for different departments. It requires a level of finesse that is mission critical to get the job done, to get the goal achieved, and so forth. So for me, if I was really about unlimited resources and unlimited time, I would take such pleasure in creating institutions globally that create this universal standard of excellence with respect to how we operate as a society, placing my personal, because it's my institution,
Facts.
placing, right, my vision, Isaac, of scaling empowerment globally. You know, that's my
Yeah.
vision. Fancyfy, when we talk about that, as we the conversation continues, that scaling empowerment globally, like what it looks like is creating institutions that lend itself to people empowering themselves, harnessing the power of their unique skill sets and capabilities. So I don't know if that answered your question, but
It does, and I want to tell for those that are listening and those that are watching. If you say, do I hear Isaac typing?" Yes, because I'm taking notes. There are bars that's being shared that I want to make sure that I also communicate back. So, as you mentioned, there is this institutional design, and I'm paraphrasing. That with your leadership, there is a global thinking, but a local design, like local implementation. And as you mentioned, that establishes standards of education and implementation that make sure that every door that they walk through, there is no chance of denying them because it's excellent, right?